I'm Peter Sidwell and welcome to my quick kitchen. This series is all about quick, delicious family meals, all under a fiver, feeds 4 people, absolutely delicious. That is my priority, is to make amazing food with budget in mind. Now today we have got some lovely crab cakes, okay? We're gonna serve them with an Asian style noodle dish. It is absolutely delicious, high in protein, low in fat. It is gonna be bang on. Now, first thing I want to do is get my noodles soaking, all right? So I've got ready to wok noodles, which is fine, but what I want to do is just soak them in boiling water, okay? So just cut them open, and what that will do is it'll just take the edge off, because we're going to serve these not like piping hot from a burning wok, just sort of room temperature. So, ready to wok noodles. If you had dried noodles from the shelf, you just need to soak them for a little bit longer. So just a bit of boiling water, and that'll do. Put those to one side. Right, now to make our crab cakes, we are using Vici's Surimi Royale. So these are like crab sticks. These are absolutely delicious. They're made from 100% Alaskan pollock. So they are really, really lean, high in protein, and delicious, okay? I actually originally was going to make this recipe with tinned tuna, and when I found out and did some research, these are cheaper than tinned tuna at the moment. So from an economical point of view, it's really worth getting in the supermarket and buying some of these to try. Okay, so we've got our fish there. Let's just put those to one side. Now, to make our sort of crab cake, we're going to use jacket potato. Okay, when I want mash, I always bake my potatoes and just scoop out the middle, and you get a much nicer flavour. You get a real potatoey flavour, whereas if you peel them, chop them, put them in a pan of water, you're kind of diluting the flavour and the texture a bit. So just take a spoon, scoop out the flesh, and you've got perfect mash. And if you want, you can spray these with a little bit of oil, whack them in the oven with some salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and you've got an amazing, like crispy potato skin that you can use. So, do you like crab sticks, Emily?
Do you know what? It's something I've never tried.
No? Do you like crab cakes?
Yeah.
You had those before?
Yeah.
So this is like a more sort of economical, accessible way of doing it. Because actually in the UK, crab is not easy to buy. No. It's not easy to buy fresh. It's quite expensive, and there's a lot of work involved if you buy a whole crab. And obviously dressed crab and crab meat is quite expensive because there's a lot of labour involved in that to get it. So this is a great way to do it. So let's mash the potato. Just quickly, not a lot. It's just a bind really. It gives us a bit of texture. It's all about these. It's all about these Surimi Royales. They're available in all supermarkets as well. I've seen them everywhere. So let's give them a little bit of flavour. Now, in with a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise. That gives us a sort of richness, makes them delicious. And then I need to find my zester. So, box grater, the really fine side, and just grate the zest off, and that'll give us some nice fragrance. So the zest of a lemon gives us nice fragrance. Don't waste this, okay? Hang on to it. I'm then going to season it with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt in there, okay? So let's grab our Surimi Royales and just chop them. Don't chop them too fine. Sort of leave them in chunks, and then you'll get a nicer texture. If you just sort of mince them all up, it'll disappear into nothing. Okay, so they can go in there. The rest. So again, just chop them into chunks. Great ingredient to have in the fridge, or they freeze really well. I'm going to develop a recipe for a really nice kind of pasta dish with chilli, lemon and basil. It'll be really delicious, so you'll have to look out for that one. Okay, so Let's just mix this together. Don't mix the life out of it. Just bring it together. That is all I want you to do. We want it sort of bound together, not mashed up to one sort of homogeneous texture. Put that to one side for a second. Spring onions, okay? These are going to give us a really nice sort of fresh zing to this dish. So get rid of the tops and then chop the white and the green, okay? Use it all. Don't throw the green away. There we go. Right. Put that back in, straight in. Let's get rid of the chopping board now for a minute. Okay, so mix all this together. Now remember, if you've got any questions about this recipe or any of our other recipes from Peter Sidwell's Quick Kitchen, just post them in the comments below and I will answer as best I can. And don't forget, every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, we have our Saturday morning cookery show, Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, where everything's a little bit more relaxed and not quite as much pace, cooking some beautiful recipes for the weekend. So make sure you watch that as well. Right, so there we go. We have now got our crab cake filling, okay? So we're gonna breadcrumb these so they're nice and crispy, all right? So I've got beaten egg here. I have got breadcrumbs. So I've just dried out some old bread and blitzed it up. I keep it in the freezer ready so I can use it anytime. And then I've got some plain flour, okay? So we're gonna season up the flour because that is our first layer of flavor, all right? So we'll mix that together. I've got beaten egg with water and I've got my breadcrumbs. So let's just take a portion, okay? So they wanna be, what would you say that's? Golf ball, Emily?
Golf ball size.
Golf ball size, we'll go with that. Roll it in the flour. I use these tins from Masterclass because they're great, what I would call a pané station, which is egg, flour and breadcrumb. French term for breadcrumbing, okay? And then into our egg mixture, give it a little shake. And then into our breadcrumbs, give it a little shake. There we go, and make sure, shake it well, okay, like that. You don't need to get your hands in yet, okay? Shake, and then you have got a perfectly breadcrumbed crab cake, all right? So there's one. Can we see all that all right, Emily?
Yep.
Do you want me to carry on and do a few more?
Yeah, can do.
Okay, check my golf ball size. There we go. So you can you see that, Emily, as well? There's lots of ingredients in there. It's not all mashed up like a fish cake, all right? It is ingredients bound together. Give it a shake in the flour. Do you think you cook this sort of thing, Emily?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do quite like fish cakes. So.
I think everyone thinks they're really difficult to do and there's lots of work. Actually, they're not that difficult to do. And you can make them your own. You could make them really spicy if you wanted to. You could put garlic, ginger, lemon in there. You do what you like. But I wanted to share with you a basic recipe that's really accessible that you can then play with. So into the flour, into the breadcrumbs, and shake. Give it a little toss there, and there we have it. I've breadcrumbed all my crab cakes. All they need to do is go in the oven now. So rather than deep frying them, I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm just going to spray them with a little bit of oil. If you've got an air fryer, put them in your air fryer and they'll crisp up lovely. So just a little bit of a spray on the top. Now remember, on the bottom, there is no oil. They won't crisp up. So turn them over, and it might seem very obvious, but you'd be surprised at the number of people that actually forget to do that. So now the bottom has got a little mist of oil.
Do you know what? I am one of those said people.
Well,
It's just...
until you sort of go, and then you're like, oh yeah. Why aren't they crispy on the bottom? So give them a little shake like that, so that they're now got that lovely sheen underneath with the oil, and whack them in the oven. So they're going in 170 in a fan oven for about 15-20 minutes max. All you need to do is crisp up the outside because the middle is already cooked, okay? So it just needs warming through and crisping up. Now for the sauce. Okay, so we're gonna make very quick slaw noodle dish. So red onion, chop it into nice slices like so. Emily gets a bit twitchy when I do this, because I could be looking the other way and chopping. One day, it'll all go horribly wrong, but not today. Okay, so I've got a wok, nice hot pan, okay? Put that to one side. Now I want this to cook quite quickly, so we're going to grate our carrots. That means it'll cook at the same time as the onion. I always think when you're doing a stir fry, think about when things are going to cook, because they don't all cook at the same time.
Is this something that you could use, like if you've just got some veg in the fridge?
Yeah, just use what you've got. All we're trying to do is just sort of get some veggies in there really, and just get a nice quick stir fry, make it easy. Literally an onion and a carrot. I've got some ginger, some garlic, chili sauce and soy sauce. Boom. Noodles, we're done.
I do like that about a stir fry where you can just chuck everything in.
Yeah, so we'll put that there. Nice and quick. And then I've got some ginger. We're just going to slice our ginger and then turn it the other way and chop it. You could grate it if you wanted to. We're going to get that straight in the pan. Okay? Ginger and garlic, just best friends when it comes to the wok. It's where the beginning of all good stir fries is. Okay? A little bit of oil. Get everything going. Let's grab a spoon. Let's get this all going. Something about ginger and garlic cooking together, it's amazing. Love it. Right, got some sweet chili sauce. That's going to go in. And because that's sweet, we're going to counter it with light soy sauce. If you've only got dark, it's okay. Don't use as much or water it down a little bit.
If you to pick one, please, sorry.
Yeah?
Would you go light or dark?
I used to go dark all the time. And I've actually gone lighter now.
Right.
I find dark a little too heavy and it masks food a bit. And my theory was, well, I'll just use less. But you end up not using less. Yeah. So I've gone light soy sauce, generally, and my daughter loves it on food, and she's dousing everything, so we moved to light soy sauce quite quickly because she was getting too much salt. So yeah, that's why we've gone light.
Is that the difference, the amount of salt that's in it?
Yeah, it's a lot saltier, it's a lot darker, there's more sodium in it. So yeah, that's why. So, in with our onions. Now, I'm not really trying to cook this loads, all right? I just kind of want to warm it through. And then we'll sit our noodles on top. So we'll just lift them out. There we go. Just break them up a little bit. And that's it. Let's just warm it through. Now, I'm not going to stir that yet. I'm going to do it at the very last minute. And then we serve it up. So when those lovely crab cakes, when those lovely crab cakes are golden and crispy, stir that, bring it all together, and we're ready to go. I'm also going to add some sesame seeds. Now, I've got black and white. It doesn't matter which you have. If you haven't got them, it doesn't matter. But there you go. So let's just wait for our crab cakes. Okay. Crab cakes ready. Look, can you hear that, Emily? Nice and crispy, yeah? That's what we want. So, because we put the oil on the bottom and the top, look, they've crisped up on the bottom as well. It's going to change your world, that, isn't it, Emily? Right, let's put this pan back on. We can stir this now. And then I'm just going to grab a spoon and we will serve this up. So, let's take these crab cakes, pop that there, pop that there. Can we see those all right, Emily?
Yeah.
Yeah? So now we just toss this together. So we've got this lovely noodly vegetable slaw. And then we just sit that on there. So all that lovely garlic, chilli, soy is ready to go. We've got a lovely couple of crab cakes there. I'm going to sprinkle some more sesame seeds on there because I love them. I want a wedge of lime with mine because I love that kind of sharp acidity that goes with it. And then if you're lucky enough to have a little bit of coriander growing in the kitchen, I would finish it with some coriander. But there you go. That is how to make a super delicious crab cakes with a noodle slaw. So just give it that lovely squeeze of lime juice. Honestly, it makes all the difference. And then let's have a little taste of these crab cakes. They are good. If you want the recipe, go to petersidwell.com. You will find it there. And make sure you join us Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and LinkedIn for Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, where we cook amazing recipes for the weekend. But you have got to make this week.